What's happening, guys? Joker here with some more Destiny gameplay from the House of Wolves expansion. Today we're going to discuss the controversy surrounding Destiny's upcoming major expansion this fall called the Taken King. What we're going to focus in on today is the price and value debate that's been ongoing within the community. So first off, let's address some of these pricing issues that are very controversial worldwide, alright? The main problem surrounding the price of this next expansion really has to do with the massive disparity between the price here in the United States and the price worldwide. For the sake of context, let's take a look at some very odd numbers. The digital collector's edition of the Taken King runs at $80 in the United States. Now go over to the UK, and for some reason that is actually at $118.06, and in Australia that also runs you at $119.70. And in Ireland, this comes across as a whopping $135 for the same content. Now let me remind you of something. This is for the digital collector's edition. This is not the physical disc version that you buy that requires it to be imported and also subject to import duties and taxes. This is straight up digital content that we're talking about here. Now, forgive me if I'm misunderstanding foreign exchange rates here, but when I look at the US dollar versus the British pound, or the US dollar versus the euro, based on the current exchange rates as of right now, summer 2015, it seems to me that the numbers don't add up, going from $80 all the way to $120 for a piece of digital content. So, to all my fellow gamers out there, I know there are many of you from the UK, from Australia, from Germany, from Ireland that have been watching these videos here. I feel your pain, guys, and I think it's ridiculous. Now, this leads to a much bigger debate that's going on right now in the community about value, about whether the Taken King is worth the price point that it's at or not, and whether we're going to receive an adequate amount of content within this expansion like Bungie is claiming or not. First off, we need to observe the key talking points that have been preached to us over the past couple of weeks, starting with the leaks before E3 and then the official announcements during E3 that basically confirmed why Bungie claims that this expansion is so, quote, massive, end quote. So we're getting a new explorable world in Phobos, as well as the Dreadnought, that is the location where some of the campaign and the new raid will be taking place on, as well as getting new class items. First, we're getting new subclasses for all of our classes, so that's a first. And then we're also getting the introduction of exotic class items for every class, and of course a whole host of new weapons. And for the first time in the Destiny franchise, Activision is implementing a Call of Duty style brand deal with Red Bull, which will grant us access to new XP consumables and a new exclusive quest line. And then there's the new Crucible game modes on top of the maps that they're giving us in Crucible. So if we consider all these talking points and all these details about the new expansion, yes, it is a substantially larger amount of content than we've seen before in previous expansions. However, we should take a note of something very important here. In both the Dark Below and House of Wolves, they claim that there was a whole new set of story missions, new quest lines, new characters you could meet. Although Bungie did deliver their promise of giving us new NPCs like Varix, like Petra, and Eris, they recycled old areas of existing maps and used those in the current campaign missions for House of Wolves and Dark Below. So in the House of Wolves, for example, there's a mission where you go to the Vault of Glass. Now that's nothing new, and that was exciting and a bit of a surprise for some players, but I felt like that was kind of lazy on Bungie's part, that they actually didn't want to give us more additional new areas in Venus to explore besides just the Citadel. I personally took it like Bungie pulled a card out of BioWare's book with Dragon Age 2. The game had a lot of potential in terms of its narrative and story, but the experience in terms of immersion was completely watered down because you had to replay through the same maps over and over again for different quests. That became really frustrating. It really took away from my personal immersion into that game, and it was too bad because the story had a lot of potential. Now in Destiny, Bungie has developed this really bad habit of kind of doing the same thing, of making us do the reverse sections of certain maps that we've already played through before and selling that to us as if it's a new quest. In a nutshell, guys, where I'm getting at with this is simply that if the Taken King includes recycled maps as part of their 12 story missions, then I don't believe that that expansion will merit that value, and it shouldn't be priced then at $40, but instead closer to $30. Overall, guys, I will say that as a longtime fan of Bungie, going back 15 years to the days of Halo Combat Evolved, I do know one thing that has stayed consistent about this developer, and that is that they always reach out and connect themselves directly to the community. They are listening to us, and if enough of us rally up with the same consistent feedback, they will make those changes. So I highly encourage you to reach out in the Bungie.net forums and on the Destiny subreddit to share all your ideas and all your feedback regarding Destiny. For those of you that have stuck around to this point in the video, I'd like to thank you personally for hearing out these thoughts and ideas today. My name is Joker, wishing all of you fellow Guardians out there a very awesome and fun weekend. Like this video if you liked it, and thank you for hanging out and watching. I'll see you next time.